Today we are going to learn relative atomic mass, and this topic is under mole, although this topic is also covered in Form 2, especially first chapter, structure of atom and periodic table, but it's also starting of mole. Most of the books, they do also summarize it before they start mole. So our first lesson, we have learned how to calculate relative atomic mass. If I remind you that one, when you want to calculate relative atomic mass of an element, you always multiply the individual mass with individual percentage, then you sum up, then you divide 100. That's how you get it, the relative atomic mass, and we have done that one. So today we are going to see that sometimes what happens is, instead of calculating the relative atomic mass like this question, they will give you the relative atomic mass. For example, in this question we have the relative atomic mass of chlorine is 35. Already they give you 35. So this is the relative atomic mass. And they will also give you one of the mass and also its percentage. Now they will give you the other mass, but they will ask you calculate the percentage of the other mass. There are two ways that you can calculate it. One is, if you already the mass, the percentage of an element is always 100% in the atmosphere. So if one of them, if you have its percentage as 25%, the other one you can say minus 100, obviously, which is 75%. We have here 25%. If we minus 100, we get it 75%. But that is simple way that you can do it overhead. But in secondary high school students, secondary, you are not supposed to do that because they need calculation. We need to get through calculation that 75%. Not easily subtracting 2500. So how do you do this? This is what you do. In the first place, you will say let's divide our board into two equal parts. Okay, now this question, now let's read the question first. The relative atomic mass of chlorine is 35, that 0.5. This is the total relative atomic mass. The mass of chlorine 37 is 25%. So mass chlorine 35, the mass is 35 and its percentage 25. Calculate the percentage of chlorine mass 35. So this chlorine 35, we need to get its percentage. So how do you do that? How do you do that? This is what we do. For us to calculate this one, this is what we do. First, we will say it, let the mass 35 of chlorine, the mass 35 chlorine be x. We take as a letter x, we don't know, or any letter y, any letter, you take any letter. Then, since we have the relative atomic mass, this is where we start now. We say it, instead of writing RAM or relative atomic mass, you can say it 35.5 is equal to the percentage times the mass, and we sum up and we divide by 100. So we create an equation. So how do you create the equation? Instead of relative atomic mass, we write the value of relative atomic mass that they give us. Then we also write, now we have the mass 37 times, we multiply 25%, its percentage. Its percentage. Close the bracket, open the bracket, plus. Now we multiply the mass, which is 35 again, times its percentage that we don't know, that we are looking for, which is x. Then we close the bracket, then we open bracket and we close bracket. Then all of them divide 100. Okay, now we take this value, which is 35.5 is equal to, then we multiply 37 times 25. When we multiply, we get 925 plus 35 times x, we get 35x, then over 100. Now in this stage we have fraction and whole number. To create a linear equation so that we get the value of x, there is one hidden always here. Any number which is whole number, there is one always hidden here. And now we get fraction. So in this fraction we look the LCM 1 and 100. The LCM of 1 and 100 is 100. Then this one as a one number you put in bracket. Then we multiply the LCM both sides. Here we multiply times 100. Here also we multiply times 100. Now 1 does not change anything. So 35.5 times 100, we get it. 35.5 times 100, we get it 3,550 when you do the calculator, because this 0 will remove the decimal point, another 0 will be added at the end, and it will be 3,550. Then is it 3,550 is equal to, now this 100 and this 100 they cancel. So inside the bracket we have 925 plus 35x. Okay, when we're here, 35x. When we're here, we do collection of like times. We collect items that are the same, like 3,350 and 925. They are like times, where 35x is unlike times. So we transfer 925 to the other side, and you know this 925, when we transfer to the other side, it will be subtracted because there is hidden positive here, and when we transfer to the other side, then it will be minus. So we do this next step. 3,500. Sorry, my pen is not doing well. Let me change it. Let me wrap it. 3,550 minus, we subtract 925, then equal to 35x. When you subtract this one, you will get, let me use the calculator, because calculator we can't do it overhead, this subtraction. That is 3,550 minus, you can use calculator, it's allowed because you're in high school, minus 925. We get 2,625. So in this answer is equal to 35x. 35x. For us to get x, the value of x, we divide both sides by 35. The other side we divide also 35. Then 35 and 35 they cancel each other. X is equal to, so 2,625 divided by 35, and when I use my calculator divided by 35, it is 75%. 75%. So that's the answer. You cannot simply say 25 minus 100. You cannot say it because they need calculation. This calculation is required. So, but already in back in your mind, you can easily know that the element, any element, the relative atomic mass of any element in terms of percentage, it's always 100%. So if one of them you are given its percentage, the other one minus 100. So that value, put it at the back of your mind. But for doing in terms of calculation, this is how you do, because they already give us the relative atomic mass 35.5. One of the mass of chlorine they give us 37, and its percentage which is 25. The other mass they give us also 35%. The other mass they give us 35. But they are asking the percentage of the other mass, which is 35. How do you do it? I'm summarizing it. Let the mass of 35 chlorine be x. You don't know. then you take the relative atomic mass, you create an equation. The relative atomic mass 35.5 is equal to the sum of the product of individual percentage and the sum of the product of individual mass and individual percentage, which means chlorine 37 times its percentage 25 plus chlorine 35 times its percentage, which you don't know, we take as x, then over 100. This is the general formula. Now you created already an equation. So to solve the equation, you rewrite this 35.5, then you solve the bracket, you multiply 37 and 25, then you get 925, then again plus you multiply 35 times x inside the bracket, you get 35x, then over 100. So you have already created an equation, but the equation about is a fraction and about is a whole number. To make all of them fraction, so any whole number which is 35.5, this is 35.5, which is this side, the left side, there is one hidden here, so 1 is here. Then divide, now you look the LCM of 1 and 100. So when you get the LCM of 1 and 100 is always 100. Then to create a linear equation so that you can get the value of x, you multiply both sides by 100. And you know this number, there is plus in between. 925 and 35x, there is plus in between. So you multiply as a bracket, as a whole. You don't multiply as individual. This one, since there is a plus addition here, you put bracket, then you multiply the 100 on top. Then when you multiply 35.500, you get 3550. Then here 100 and 100, they cancel each other. You get 925, then plus 35x. Here you have linear equation. To solve the linear equation, you transfer, you collect the like times, which means 925 you transfer to the other side, then you subtract this one. When you subtract 3550 minus 925, you get 2625 is equal to 35x. Then you divide both sides by 35, then the value of x is 75%. I hope you have understood it, and I wish you a good life.